I've been Ethan's executive assistant for 7 years. And he just got engaged. The young heiress, Lily, clung to Ethan's arm and pointed at me. Fire her. And we'll get married. Ethan coldly shook her off. Then let's call off the engagement. How do I explain I'm literally just a regular assistant? I was planning to make serious bank during their wedding preparations anyway. During lunch break, I overheard Marcus from marketing gossiping. Have you seen the future Mrs. Sullivan? Total princess material. Miss Murphy's pretty and all, but she doesn't have that old money vibe. I paused mid-stride. Compliment the heiress all you want. But why drag me? I'm just a working-class girl. Give me $10 million and watch me conjure that aristocratic charm overnight. Poor thing. Another colleague chimed in. After all these years with Mr. Sullivan, he's still marrying a socialite. These dynastic marriages require equal status. Don't even start. Miss Murphy's aged 10 years since the engagement news broke. If I was mildly annoyed before, now I was baffled. Why would Ethan's marriage affect me? If I look tired, it's from overtime, not some imaginary heartbreak. I marched back to my office, chugged a collagen peptide drink, and grabbed the HR files. Come in. That familiar baritone rumbled. I entered with afternoon meeting schedules, sliding the promotion list across his mahogany desk. Marketing underperformed, recommend holding promotions. Their campaigns flopped despite 2 quarters budget. Convert the interns instead. Ethan's pen hovered over Marcus' file. His PR strategies lack impact. I watched his elegant script sign the rejection, smiling faintly. So Marcus wanted to spread rumors about me being Ethan's tragic secret lover? Please. I'm no romance novel martyr, this is corporate warfare. That promotion budget just became menstrual product subsidies for female staff. Lunch plans? Ethan shrugged into his Brioni suit. We usually avoided the crowded cafeteria. New Italian place at the Galleria? The elevator stopped floor by floor during lunch rush. Programmers flooded in, shoving me against Ethan. His signature Creed Silver Mountain Water cologne enveloped us, too intimate for professional distance. At the 5th floor, more tech bros pushed in. I stumbled backward into Ethan's chest. His palm cradled my head, creating breathing space. Weight limit, he announced, that velvet voice vibrating through me. The programmers sheepishly retreated. His thumb brushed my hairpin, a Tiffany piece from last year's Christmas bonus. Just another Tuesday in corporate America. I quickly pushed him away. The elevator fell deathly silent, save for the sound of me awkwardly smoothing my hair. Of all people, Marcus had to be here, giving us that suggestive look. Mr. Sullivan. Miss Murphy. Going out for lunch? Ethan replied evenly. The silence grew heavier, every occupant now sporting identical knowing smirks. Wait. This isn't what it looks like, let me explain. Ethan and I attended the same university. I called him senior during those days when we collaborated on projects. His stellar academic record practically guaranteed national scholarships for anyone working with him. Joining his company after graduation followed the same logic. I knew sticking with this high achiever would eventually translate to stock options when they went public. Our relationship remained ruthlessly transactional, reeking of capitalistic pragmatism. Not a shred of romance novel cliché here. The restaurant hummed with violin melodies as I studied the menu. Ethan rested his chin on his hand, watching me. His custom-tailored black suit and chiseled features drew glances from surrounding tables. Truth be told, his looks could front any romance novel cover, minus the nonsensical quirks of your typical CEO character. Take his low-maintenance nature, he never complained about my restaurant choices, eating whatever I ordered without fuss. Since it's Thursday, we're offering our couple's special with complimentary dessert. The server gestured at the menu. I did quick math, the lobster thermidor alone nearly matched the set price. Seems reasonable. We'll take it. Ethan tapped the tabletop. The server plucked the menu from my fingers, placing a rose in our vase. Suddenly remembering his engagement, I hissed, "Sir, this menu option isn't appropriate." He lifted an eyebrow. "Why? You said it's cost-effective. I'm no fool paying a la carte prices for your lobster cravings." Heat flooded my face. Damn, he'd caught onto my mooching strategy. Post-meal, Ethan went to settle the bill while I contemplated coffee runs. A shadow fell across the table, Lily, dripping in designer labels. Her face contorted. "What are you doing here? You can't afford this place." She wasn't wrong. Hence the weekday working lunches with the boss. Couples special? Lily's shriek turned heads, her laser glare finding Ethan at the register. "You. Not me. He chose it. You'd better explain this." She appended the rose vase, petals scattering across the table. How could I explain 7 years of meticulously planning my employer's dining itinerary that coincidentally covered every top restaurant in the city? That's embezzlement adjacent. Despite internal panic, my professional mask held. "Mr. Sullivan wanted to surprise you but worried this venue might disappoint. We're scouting locations." Her anger faltered. "Really?" I gestured at the spread. "Why else order the couple's special?" Lily opened then closed her mouth, thoroughly outmaneuvered. After thinking for a moment, Lily glared at me. "Humph. Consider yourself lucky. Don't let me catch you having meals with Ethan again, or you can kiss your job goodbye." I shivered. Not sharing meals with Ethan? I'd guard my career even if it meant surviving on 2 meals a day. Lily's warning triggered professional alarm bells. As an executive assistant, maintaining appropriate boundaries with my male boss was crucial. I'd prided myself on keeping perfect professionalism, not a single inappropriate thought about Ethan in all these years. We'd never even shaken hands properly. Any accidental contact sent me straight into apology mode. Yet if Mrs. Bennett said I'd crossed lines, adjustments were necessary. I stopped joining Ethan for lunch, opting to order delivery instead. After 7 days of takeout containers, he cornered me post-meeting with ominous calm. "I'm done with takeout." Understood. The following week, I scheduled all client lunches at noon. Ethan traded soggy fries for 3 martini business meals with silver-haired executives. 2 days later, my Slack pinged. "Ethan, no more geriatric drinking buddies." Fate's timing. Lily's message blinked simultaneously. God knows why this socialite had workplace apps. Her daily 9 a.m. interrogations. Why wasn't Ethan taking her out? Was I manipulating his calendar? Since when did secretaries plan CEO's dates? Fine. I inserted romantic dinner 6 p.m. at La Trattoria, reserved, into Ethan's schedule, complete with champagne pairing. The read receipt glowed for hours. At 5:45 p.m., he returned the calendar event marked approved. "Grace, confirming tonight's reservation." "Ethan, that Tuscan place?" "Grace, correct. Table for 2 at 6. His terse okay arrived as the Bentley pulled up. From my 19th floor window, I watched Ethan's tailored silhouette slide into the leather seats. Mission accomplished. CEO whining and dining his fiancée. Socialite securing her date night. Me preserving my 401k. Riding the subway home, I inexplicably fumed imagining them toasting with burgundy glasses. Damn capitalist pageantry. My phone buzzed at 9 p.m. "Ethan, come in." "Grace, sir." "It's after hours." He demonstrated labor law noncompliance by kicking my apartment door. That housing stipend for living in his luxury complex? Worst decision ever. Ethan stormed in like he owned the place, collapsing on my couch with thunderous expression. "Emergency review." I booted up my laptop. My recent schedule. His stormy blue eyes flashed. "Particularly meal arrangements unacceptable. Your feedback is appreciated." Ethan smirked coldly. "What do you think?" I studied him carefully. The twitch in his left eyelid betrayed his fury. Snapping my laptop shut, I knelt on the carpet. If this is about tonight's dinner reservation, Mrs. Bennett has been hounding me all week on the company messaging app. Why does Lily have your work contact? His immediate reaction mirrored everyone else's. Trust me. I'd love to know too. Ethan reined in his temper. She's not your employer. If you keep mixing personal errands with corporate work. His unspoken threat hung in the air. My blood ran cold. 7 years. From clueless assistant to executive secretary. I'd weathered boardroom coups and market crashes beside him. Now he'd throw it all away because of his fiancée's tantrums? Did he not hear Lily's shrill yapping every time I walked by? That woman had all the charm of a rabid chihuahua. My nose stung as I grabbed a tissue. Where would a 32-year-old unmarried woman find another job? Last warning. Ethan's expression softened. He tossed a takeout container on my desk. Rubbing his temples. Eat. The aroma of baked lobster from his favorite Italian place made my stomach growl. I'm watching my complexion. No late-night carbs. Death radiated from his glare. I tearfully swallowed every morsel. Since when did capitalists weaponize gourmet meals as overtime incentives? During next morning's executive briefing, Ethan motioned for me to stay. You'll coordinate the wedding. My pencil snapped. Sir, with all due respect, it'll require PR coordination for 300 guests. His gold-rimmed glasses glinted as he transformed personal affairs into corporate strategy. But the bride's preferences. Unlimited budget. Those obsidian eyes pinned me. You decide everything. The protest died in my throat. Technically, event planning fell under my nebulous job description. I'd chosen his suits, supervised his penthouse renovation, even taste-tested his damn coffee beans. But this? My untouched latte turned bitter. I'd never held hands with a man, yet here I was orchestrating Ethan's fairy tale wedding to that human handbag dog. The office already buzzed about the 7-year mistress. Soon they'd crown me history's most pathetic martyr. Timeline? My keyboard clicked like gunfire. Your discretion. 3 million budget. My fingers froze mid-keystroke. Excuse me? Ethan leaned back in his executive chair, casually dropping the number, 3 million. Oh my God. I shot up from my seat, paced 2 frantic circles, then grabbed my teacup with trembling hands to hide my excitement before resuming proper posture on the sofa. 3 million. Complete creative control. I'd never handled a project this massive. Weddings mean endless revenue streams, floral arrangements, catering tiers, venue upcharges. With each vendor selection round, the kickbacks alone could. Grace, your ship's finally coming in. Married. Immediately. Yesterday if possible. My fingers flew across the keyboard drafting proposals. Mr. Sullivan. I'll deliver the wedding of the century. He physically threw me out of his office. The door slam punctuated by his growled "Get lost." Irrelevant. He's currently my favorite person alive. My golden goose. Even if he's marrying Lily? Please. I'll gladly call that woman mom. Love triangles? Drama? Please. The 3 of us are one big happy family. My phone buzzed mid-venue research. Lily's name flashed. Meet me now. On my way. I chirped, already grabbing my bag. She'd chosen a cafe 2 blocks away. I walked into Arctic glares the moment the bell jingled. Lily sat coiled like a panther, manicured claws resting on her Birkin. Explain. She slid her phone across the marble tabletop. Ethan told me last night our engagement's off. Half the cafe turned to watch. I blinked. He dumps you and I'm the translator? Her hand shot out, acrylic nails digging into my jaw as she yanked me across the table. You've been whispering in his ear, haven't you? All those double dates were just sabotage. I'm many things. But suicidal isn't one. Those talons hovered millimeters from my eyeballs. Misunderstanding. I squeaked. He approved $3 million for your wedding this morning. $3 million. Sis. You're my VIP client. Her grip loosened in shock. I scrambled back to safety. Prove it. Gladly. I flipped my laptop around, displaying venue mood boards. We're already sourcing couture gowns. The man's desperate to marry you, and I'm personally invested in that aisle walk. Suspicion narrowed her Bambi eyes. This isn't some scheme to drain my trust fund and dump me at the altar? Lay off the romance novels. She sniffed, evaluating me like discounted handbag. Fine. You're coming shopping. The Valentino-clad heiress rose, hips swaying toward the exit. Her Birkin swung like a weapon. Ah, the classic ambush. She took me to Hermes. The sales associate practically genuflected when we entered. She snapped her fingers. I need jewelry for the engagement party. The clerk presented the catalog with reverence. Miss Murphy, do sit down. Lily removed her sunglasses, patting the seat beside her with saccharine malice. I perched uneasily. Working girls like us needed courage just to breathe Hermes air. Lily spread the catalog across my knees, flipping pages with manicured claws. Which do you prefer, Grace? I offered sincere praise. They're all exquisite. Look closer. Her smile turned venomous. After all, you'll never afford even a glance at these. That stung. I can Google them. Lily choked. Google shows everything, even Hermes' official site. Wealthy influencers post unboxings on TikTok and Instagram for us plebs. Her glare could have etched diamonds. What? Your working-class granny's seen it all. Honey. Our verbal sparring paused when the clerk interjected. This limited edition necklace features exceptional clarity. We fell silent, foreheads nearly touching as we gaped at the diamond waterfall spanning collarbone to navel. Price? $1. 068. 000 after discounts. My soul exited my body. Lily's didn't. She tapped the page with talon-like nails. Any physical pieces available? Only the matching bracelet. Bring it. The six-figure accessory glinted as Lily preened under boutique lighting, shooting me a triumphant smirk. Defeat washed over me. Those diamonds weren't just sparkling, they were annihilating my moral compass. Perhaps my devastated expression fueled her, for Lily suddenly pointed at bedazzled stilettos. Let me try those. When the clerk knelt to assist, Lily lounged on the sofa, crossing legs worth more than my annual salary. No. I want her. Her poison-dipped gaze found me. Miss Murphy? Seriously? You get off on humiliating me? I flipped open my laptop, pulling up budget spreadsheets. Put them back. We're not getting these shoes. Lily's jaw dropped. Excuse me? You blew the budget on that necklace. Shoes get axed, nobody sees them under the gown anyway. What nonsense are you? The $3 million isn't just your personal slush fund. I tapped the screen. Venue. Catering. Floral. PR crisis management. Your family's reputation requires buffer. These shoes? I closed the laptop with finality. Denied. Lily shot up. Hermes bag raised like a weapon. Who are you to deny my wedding shoes? Wedding planner privileges. I shrugged. All funds flow through me. Smash that bag and you lose the necklace too. Fury warred with pragmatism across her face. Delicious. Beg me. I sing-songed. I'm telling Ethan. She shrieked, storming out with Birkin swinging. Sipping complimentary champagne. I slipped on the forbidden stilettos. Damn. They looked good. When I finally scraped together some cash from Lily's wedding, I'll buy myself a pair too. Stepping out of the boutique, Ethan's call came through. Where are you? That bastard put me through all this. Just hearing his voice pissed me off. I couldn't even muster a response. You weren't at the office this afternoon. His tone dropped to sub-zero. No leave request. No clock in. Then I remembered this jerk was technically my boss. I was shopping for wedding attire. A champagne-colored Bentley soon emerged in traffic. Sliding into the passenger seat. I studied his expression. Calm as ever. Clearly, Lily didn't pull her dramatic antics in front of him like she did with me. Ethan's gaze lingered. What did you get? Jewelry. He raised an eyebrow. What kind? A Hermes diamond set. 10.68 million. 10. Ethan choked mid-sentence. But a CEO's got a CEO, endless cash. Zero dignity. Leaning against the window. He swallowed his shock. Like it? Then buy it. I silently picked at the lint on my trench coat. Rich people operated in a different universe. Dinner plans? Not hungry. Why eat? His toxic duo had already filled me with rage. You dropped 10 mil this afternoon and still sulk? He smirked. It's not for me. Your psycho wife wanted me to kneel while putting her shoes on. My glare said it all. Ethan turned to start the engine. There's an entrepreneur's gala tomorrow. Guest lists in your inbox. Check it later and see what networking favors we need. Go inventory the gifts at my place. I slumped deeper into the leather seat. Lily buys necklaces. I pull overtime. The world's so unfair. I used from Ethan's car onto his living room sofa. Watched him fuss over a beef and tomato stew in the kitchen. I had 2 bowls. Dealing with his wife counted as workplace hazard pay. Revived by carbs. I trudged to the basement storage to sort presents. 7 years as his right hand taught me one truth: business runs on backroom deals. Not rulebooks. Everything's quid pro quo. My job? Track every gift received, assess what's acceptable. Log values. Then match items to recipients based on their influence and our asks. Padding around in slippers. I rummaged through drawers while Ethan leaned against the doorframe. Then 2 familiar jars caught my eye. Who gave you these? Finding creme de la mer in a single guy's stash broke my last nerve. Forgot. He fake coughed into his fist. Take them. You've looked like charcoal since last week. Jerk. Only the take them part sounded decent. Why do people keep sending you makeup? Makes 0 sense. Every year. I'd fish out unopened foundations. Lipsticks. Cleansers, all mine now. Ethan's mood flipped instantly. What do you think? He gritted through clenched teeth. I pondered. They want to see you cross-dress? Ethan froze. Then he let out a cold laugh. Grace. I swear one day I'll snap and strangle you with my bare hands. Whatever. If I die, I die. It's not like this living hell is any better. Jesus. What fresh nightmare is this? We were still arguing in the storage room when the doorbell rang. Lily's saccharine voice floated through the intercom. Ethan. Honey. I brought you fresh-baked cupcakes. My skin crawled at the baby doll affectation. Who would have guessed Miss Perfect had a Dr. Jekyll act? I frantically pointed upstairs. Then at the storage room. Hissing at Ethan. You go. I'm hiding here. Since when do you enjoy playing burglar? He mocked, not bothering to lower his voice. I clamped my hand over his mouth. If she sees me, not even the Mississippi could wash me clean. Clean of what? Ethan's obsidian eyes locked onto mine. His voice dropped to that whiskey rough register that made late-night podcast hosts sound like amateurs. His breath warmed my palm, the intimate moisture making me jerk back like I'd been shocked. You know how it is. I stammered, wiping my hand on my skirt. Enlighten me. He lied through his perfect teeth. Weren't you here to pick gifts? What's there to hide? His tongue darted across his lower lip. Unless you're having indecent thoughts about your boss? I'd have stapled it shut given half a chance. Dude. Your wife's literally upstairs with dessert. Ethan snorted and shook me off. Upstairs. Now. He ordered, striding toward the foyer. I stayed rooted. Not stupid enough to walk into round 2 with Lily. 1 catfight per day max, any more would shave years off my lifespan. My brilliant plan? Camp out in the basement till they finished their little tea party. Too bad Lily graduated summa cum laude from the University of Bullshit. The second Ethan opened the door, Lily bulldozed past him. What took so long? Hiding someone? Her stilettos clicked through the upstairs rooms like a raccoon invasion. What do you want? Ethan's territorial growl made me shiver. The man who fired his cleaning crew for folding towels wrong clearly wasn't enjoying this search party. I told you. These cupcakes from the new place at Silver Plaza, I waited 40 minutes. Her voice spiraled toward the basement stairs. Why's it smell like cheap perfume down? The shriek could have shattered crystal. Grace! You scheming bitch! Ethan! Why is she here? Ethan's jawline sharpened. Try that name again. Lily's courage evaporated faster than vodka in sunlight. Ethan! She whined. Explain this. While they squared off, I grabbed 2 jars of La Mer creams as camouflage. Pardon me, just here on official business. Business? In his house. At night? Lily's Botox-frozen face actually twitched. You shameless gold digger. What's in your hands? Stolen goods? The $600 creams did look suspicious without shopping bags. I hid them behind my back. Relax. These are from my boyfriend. You have a boyfriend? Ethan exploded in Mandarin-accented fury. What the actual fuck? So you're her boyfriend? Lily shrieked like a boiling kettle. What a goddamn drama show. The entire penthouse descended into pure chaos. Ethan! Get this bitch out of here right now. Lily lunged forward to slap me. Her manicured nails gleaming. Watch your language. Ethan stepped between us. His voice dangerously calm. She designed this penthouse from scratch. She comes and goes as she pleases. Who the hell are you to barge into my home at midnight shouting obscenities? Who am I? Who am I? Lily's eyes welled up dramatically. I'm your fiancé. Ethan snorted. Since when did I agree to that? You're choosing some floozy over me? Lily's voice cracked. A vein throbbed at Ethan's temple as he forced a smile. Still can't address people properly. Can you? Fine. He rolled up his sleeves and yanked open the mahogany wall cabinet. I recognized that murderous glint. Time to nope out. Maybe I should let you two sort this. My words died when he pulled out the writing crop. Lily. Ethan adjusted his glasses with terrifying gentleness. I've always treated you like a little sister. But I've loved you since we were kids. Interrupting adults now. Are we? He cracked the crop against the cabinet. Advancing like a panther. No manners? Don't worry. Big brother will teach you some respect tonight. He removed his glasses. Holy shit. Holy shit. Lily scrambled behind me. Makeup streaking down her face. Help me. I awkwardly shielded her. Mr. Sullivan. This counts as domestic violence. Come out. Lily. Ethan twirled the crop. Let's fix that foul mouth of yours. Miss Murphy. He's hitting me. Lily wailed into my shoulder. Aw. You can use proper titles after all. Ethan loosened his tie with a chilling smile. Perfect timing to settle all our accounts. They started circling me like some deranged merry-go-round. What could I do? Mediate. Apparently. It's 2 a.m. You can't spank her like some misbehaving kid. You enabled this brat. The crop quivered in his grip. Domestic abusers never stop. Lily hiccuped behind me. Ethan barked out a laugh. Exactly. So do us all a favor and break off the engagement. Never. The idiot actually stuck out her tongue before bolting. Ethan lunged after her. Crop whistling through air. She tripped over the Persian rug. I tackled Ethan from behind. You'll actually hurt her. He froze. The sudden stillness felt more dangerous than the chase. As Lily's Louboutins clacked toward the exit, Ethan growled, "Leave the cake." Sobbing hysterically, Lily deposited the Tiffany blue box on the console. "You'll regret this." "Ethan!" The door slammed hard enough to rattle the chandelier. Silence swallowed the penthouse. After an eternity, I exhaled. Close call. I'd mentally prepared for round 2 with the heiress from hell. Never expected Ethan to go full WWE on her. Dude straight up dunked on that entitled princess. Savage. The man stormed over, his fury melting into calmness as he rested his large hand atop my head, ruffling my hair affectionately. "Don't be upset." "Huh? No one gets to talk about you that way." His dark eyes softened behind lowered lashes. Oh, when Lily had been ranting at me earlier. That heavy, suffocating anger had indeed been simmering in my chest. But watching Ethan grab a champagne flute to defend my honor, I'd forgotten to feel wronged. Honestly, it had been almost comical. My lips twitched upward, meeting his obsidian gaze. His handsome features twisted into playful mockery, dimples appearing. "Enjoying the show?" "What?" Ethan leaned against the bar, tugging me closer by our still-linked hands. "Am I that good to hold on to that you won't let go?" I instantly released him, shaking my head vigorously. "Sorry. Won't happen again." His eyebrow arched. "After nearly 10 years of friendship. Who knew you'd turn violent?" My strained laughter sounded more like a whimper. Ethan's voice dropped. "I don't hit women." He snatched Lily's untouched cake, shoving it into my mouth while pinning me with that intense stare. "I treat my wife exceptionally well." Lying in bed later, my heart kept floating weightlessly. That phrase echoed, "I treat my wife exceptionally well." The way his gaze had lingered, almost like he meant me. My phone screen lit up with a text from Mom demanding this month's medication money for my brother. Right. It's the 5th. I transferred $4. 200. The instant payment notification arrived. No further messages. Scrolling through our chat history, mostly transaction records with sparse conversation, reality crashed through my rose-tinted fantasies like ice water. Propping myself up, I remembered Ethan's perpetual frown around me, his sarcastic remarks, the endless overtime he'd assign. Our relationship wasn't built on affection, just transactions. Besides, if he'd wanted something more in all these years, wouldn't it have happened already? Someone like him, a Sullivan heir, would have endless Lilies, Sarahs, and Emilas lining up. Fairy tales belong to wealthy CEOs and socialites. My role? Just the background office worker eating popcorn during the drama. Rolling over, I shut my eyes. Work continued normally. Lily still messaged me on Slack daily. Post-confrontation, her communications turned glacial. Each morning brought the same query, frowny face. "Lily, is Ethan in today?" Me, "Yes." Conversation concluded. Tomorrow would repeat the script. The floor remained eerily quiet, perhaps intimidated by Ethan's presence. Lily opted for more discreet mischief. She splurged millions buying a trending hashtag announcing her engagement to Ethan. Marcus finally got his PR crisis moment. Rubbing his hands with glee, he emerged from Ethan's office and sidled into mine. "Miss Murphy, can I help you?" The boss wants a statement denying Miss Bennett's engagement claims. Marcus wiggled his eyebrows like a gossip-hungry raccoon. Noted. He already mentioned it. Marcus plopped into the chair across me, steepling his fingers. He also claims to have a 7-year girlfriend. Madly in love. That part's obviously fabricated. I stated matter-of-factly. You think? His eyebrows did that twitchy dance again. Stop eyeing me like that. If I were the girlfriend, would I still be working this desk job? And don't buy his tall tales, 7 years would mean they started dating in college. I'd have known. Marcus suddenly stared at something behind me with reverent terror. My throat went dry as I turned. Ethan stood glowering like an avenging angel, his stormy gaze promising retribution. I swiveled back to my monitor, frantically typing nonsense. Explanations meant nothing when caught red-handed. He stalked past without a word, slamming his office door hard enough to rattle the glass partitions. Dinner plans? Zero communication. Tomorrow's schedule? Radio silence. I finally caved and messaged about his upcoming business trip. His terse yes felt colder than Arctic wind. Such pettiness over me exposing his imaginary girlfriend. If anything, his fictional partner seemed suspiciously similar to me, not that I'd demand royalties. Scrolling through our chat history, today's exchange looked pathetically brief. Day 1 of Ethan's absence. My Slack pinged. Lily, available? We developed twisted rapport. Her messages now resembled desperate booty calls rather than rivals' taunts. Peering at Ethan's dark office, I replied, busy. Worst decision ever. Lily materialized within the hour. Her Morticia Addams makeup screaming villainous breakdown. Jet black dress. Crimson lips sneering. She kicked open my office door. You're fired. The entire floor froze. Colleagues abandoned spreadsheets. Eyes glittering with schadenfreude. That traitor Marcus even started live streaming, narrating like a sports commentator. Miss Bennett. I said evenly. You lack authority to terminate me. I'm Mrs. Sullivan. She yanked me into the hallway. Manicured claws drawing blood. Ethan doesn't need you anymore. Get out. Whether Ethan needs me is another matter. But termination must comply with basic labor laws. Our dismissal process takes 2 months to ensure proper preparation time and severance compensation. Here's $10 million. Leave him right now. Lily slammed the black card at my feet with aggressive flair. My traitorous heart skipped a beat, calculating my current salary with benefits. $10 million could barely cover 20 years of employment. Considering I might never find a better position, the minimum should be $17,620,000. You think this petty cash can buy me? I countered, clutching my dignity. Grace. You ungrateful bitch. Oh, I get it, he's paying you more. Isn't he? Not exactly. But the compensation package offers stability. If we could negotiate. My attempted bargaining got cut off as Lily lunged. I dodged faster than a startled rabbit. Frustrated, she rampaged through my workstation like a madwoman, sending office supplies crashing. Colleagues finally intervened, shielding me. How dare you assault people? She's stealing my fiancé. Why shouldn't I beat this homewrecker? I'll tear her face off. Lily shrieked, finger jabbing at my nose. Where's your shame? You knew about our engagement yet still cling to him for money. How despicable can you get? I endure professional hardships, but slandering my work ethics crosses the line. Gently pushing Marcus aside, I addressed her calmly, Ms. Bennett. If your fiancé can't have female staff, keep him leashed at home. Even without secretaries, he'll interact with female colleagues and clients. Will you faint at every business lunch? You're different. She sneered. They don't beg for gifts, control his finances, or sleep over. Trembling with rage, I felt nails digging crescent moons into my palms. Night visits are for urgent document deliveries. Managing project funds falls under my job description. Any bonuses reflect my professional merit security. You dare touch me? Lily gasped as guards restrained her. Enforce corporate access protocols. No unauthorized personnel. But she's... The guard hesitated. This workplace recognizes employees, not family members. Understood? Crystal. The security chief snapped to attention. You bureaucratic shrew. Lily writhed. Legal. I cut through her screeching. Present. Junior associate's fingers flew across the keyboard. Vandalism. Disruption of operations will need full compensation plus punitive damages. Sue her. This is how you protect mistresses. Lily broke free. Palm arcing toward my face, halted midair by a familiar grip. Ethan's arrival silenced the chaos, his disheveled hair belying the usual composure. My nose inexplicably stung. Add defamation to the lawsuit. Public slander against Miss Murphy. His voice carried steel. But sir, reputation claims require personal. We're handling it. His gaze locked with mine, conveying volumes. Lily's eyes welled. I'm your fiancée. My engagement party? Ethan coldly shook her off. I learned about it through Marcus' social media post. You call this an engagement? The office erupted in whispers. Later I found myself in the executive suite. Tears dripping into hot cocoa Ethan kept handing me. Not angry anymore. He soothed. I shook my head. I'm not. I know. I work hard every day, MHM. My promotions and raises, they all came from working overtime. Woo-woo, right. You're the most dedicated and responsible one here. But now everyone thinks I slept my way to the top. I burst into tears. They think I'm just your mistress, never. I was pulled into a warm embrace. People aren't blind. They know exactly what you've accomplished and how much work you've put in. Really? The chest I leaned against vibrated with soft laughter. Besides, you're not my mistress. Maybe it was the comforting sandalwood cologne. Or perhaps the gentle reassurance. But I gradually calmed down. 10 minutes later, when I finally emerged from my tearful daze, I froze. Wait! Why was I clinging to Ethan? I shoved him away. Lily had just caused a scene. My reputation hung by a thread. I'd sworn up and down that Miss Murphy was above reproach, only to get caught embracing Ethan moments later. If this went to court, not even the best lawyer could save me. There's nothing between us, Ethan said intensely, his gaze burning into me. There's nothing between us either. Single people should maintain proper boundaries. I turned toward the door, fingers brushing the handle. I don't want my career jeopardized by your personal drama. Ethan's arm shot past my shoulder, slamming the door shut. I'm sorry. His heated breath made me shiver. Has she harassed you like this before? It won't happen again. Ha. Getting harassed is part of the secretary job description. I sulked. Her family's investors forced this engagement without my consent. I never showed up to the ceremony. I whirled around. Ethan's eyes were red-rimmed, hair disheveled, looking strangely vulnerable. So the mighty Mr. Sullivan got strong-armed into marriage? MHM. He lowered his lashes like a wounded puppy. You should have told me sooner. I'd been tiptoeing around Lily like she was royalty. You never asked. His accusatory gaze lifted. Everyone knew except you. You never cared to notice. Later, I scrolled through Marcus' social media. The engagement photos were exactly as I remembered, extravagant. Fairy tale perfect. That first glimpse months ago had made my stomach drop before I hurriedly scrolled past. None of my business. Not my concern. Couldn't bear to look. Now. I calmly surveyed the sea of congratulatory comments, and one furious reply. Ethan, why are you there? I didn't attend. Marcus, seriously. Ethan? Ethan, fake news. Opposing arranged marriages. The comment chain soon flooded with arranged marriages. I covered my mouth. Laughter bubbling through my fingers. Of course everyone knew. Everyone except me. Somewhere along the way, I started deliberately avoiding Ethan's personal affairs. We commuted together daily, yet remained worlds apart. I understood that a young, handsome billionaire CEO would eventually belong to someone. Sooner or later. Just not me. So why bother dwelling on his matters? It'd only bring unnecessary heartache. No curiosity. No discussions. No involvement, not even glancing his way. I built walls around myself. This was the distance I maintained. Without expectations, there could be no disappointment. Though come to think of it, Ethan had never actually given me reason to feel hurt. I scratched my flushed neck. God. What decent person stalks social media like this anyway? The ringing phone shattered my embarrassed reverie. Mom's voice crackled through. Grace. Come home immediately. Your brother's hospitalized. The fragile happiness I'd been nurturing evaporated instantly. That afternoon, I delegated all tasks to my assistant, approved my own leave request, and boarded the train home. Our rural village never changes. My brother's kidneys failed years ago from childhood injections gone wrong. Now he can't handle physical labor, saddled with perpetual medical bills. Our family's poverty nearly derailed my education. They planned to marry me off at 18. Through student loans, scholarships, and endless part-time jobs, I clawed my way to a college degree and urban career. My version of defying fate. Yet now I'm hitting the glass ceiling hard. No apartment. No car. No marriage prospects, can't even afford a dog. My greatest achievements are others' starting lines. Like that joke, corporate Selena by weekday. Country Chui Hua on weekends. My exact reality. After 8 hours rattling to the county seat and a night in a roadside inn, I took the dawn shuttle home. Our family's actually considered well off here since I sent them 300,000 yuan to build a 3-story house. Yes. My parents literally constructed it themselves. Mom was chasing chickens in the courtyard when I arrived, not exactly ICU-level urgency. You're back, she stated flatly. Where's brother? Same as ever. Upstairs. Then why the emergency summons? I snapped. She wiped her hands on her apron. Found you a match. I turned to leave instantly, but she grabbed my arm. You're already here. I traveled all night. You're pushing 30. Her words stung as always. Can't stay single forever. This one's perfect, city educated. Fit. Handsome. Please. I scoffed. The whole village is coming to see you, she insisted. With unused vacation days and office embarrassment lingering, I reluctantly stayed. Where else would I go anyway? The next morning when I got up, there was a man sitting in my yard. Over 6 feet tall, lanky with bleached white hair and a single black earring, dude looked more stylish than me. I cursed under my breath. Since when did our village have someone like this? My mom sat across from him shoveling rice into her mouth. Couldn't you clean up a bit? Showing up looking like trash. He turned around. Slanted eyes. Straight nose. That pampered lazy vibe rich kids have. Giving me the once-over. There I stood in pajamas with a toothbrush hanging from my mouth and flip-flops dragging. I thought I didn't care about anyone's opinion in this village. Never expected Mom to actually dig up a hottie. The guy exchanged names with me and invited me for a walk through the fields. As we left, Mom grabbed my arm. Ask for 300,000 dowry. Not a penny less. I snorted and shook her off. Just wait, I'd reject him the second we were out of sight. Turns out this Ivy League grad had worked corporate till almost dying from overwork. Now starting an agricultural venture here. He'd leased massive plots for a farm. With his looks and aesthetic rural videos, people called him the male Liziki. He shook my hand. I'm Lee Ziba. Really milking that namesake. Huh? Ziba showed me around his land, asking if I'd consider working with him. Our village only had elders and kids. He'd heard about my glittering resume and wanted to recruit local talent. Mom immediately smelled dowry money. Pays negotiable. Better than city cubicles, more freedom. As a top streamer, Ziba wasn't short on cash. These days, only internet content creation thrived. I stared at the emerald fields. Ethan's face flashing through my mind. Stern Ethan. Charming Ethan. Sarcastic Ethan. And Ethan looking at me with those tender eyes. The countryside had everything: mountains, clear streams, birdsong. The city meant insane prices, crammed subways, an endless cubicle grind. But he was there. He was in the city. My job's fine. I scuffed the dirt with my shoe. My boss is exceptional. Exceptional enough to work 9 to 9. 6 days a week? Yeah. Zeba saw right through me. Back to work. I waved him off. Since I was here anyway, might as help harvest ripe corn. My phone rang mid-harvest. Mom. I declined. She kept calling. On the third attempt, I snapped. What? Your husband's here. Her voice trembled. Where are you with Zeba? Hide quick. What? You never said you're married. I've been arranging matches like an idiot. She rambled. This son-in-law's terrible though, awful temper. My chest tightened. What did you tell him? My phone slipped from my hand as I stammered. I told him you went on that blind date with Marcus. And he just stormed out. He's probably coming to punch you. Through the swaying corn stalks, I spotted Ethan cutting across the emerald fields in his tailored black suit. I dove into the cornfield without thinking. Come out. His voice carried through the rustling leaves. I burrowed deeper into the foliage. You're holding pruning shears. Peeking through the corn leaves at his reminder, I saw him standing like some wrathful god under the midday sun. So terrified? Ethan sneered, dusting corn silk off his sleeve. You'd rather date some Twitch streamer than keep working for me? It's not. Resignation denied. He yanked me from the cornfield, his palm burning against my wrist. I twisted futilely in his grip. Stop struggling, he growled, eyes blazing. The scorching sunlight made my nose sting as he hauled me closer. Grace. After all these years, you can't possibly be this oblivious to how I feel. You've been an excellent employer. My voice cracked. Employer? His laugh held bitterness. 7 years. 2,847 days. We've shared countless meals and seasons together. And that's what you call me? 2,847 days. Had it really been that long? His thumb brushed away my tear. Touch startlingly gentle. Tell me you never once thought about us. Not even for a second. Memories flooded back unbidden library study sessions with our sleeves whispering against each other. Him mixing my favorite dipping sauce during company celebrations. Sunlight filtering through blinds during my first interview as he sat behind his mahogany desk. Back when we were younger. When he was the golden heir to the Sullivan Empire. And I was just a scholarship kid drowning in student loans. Ethan. My voice broke. You were always out of reach. The boy who delivered flawless presentations in Oxford English while I struggled with basic pronunciation. The man who attended Davos summits while I stressed over rent payments and my brother's medical bills. I'd worked my ass off just to make it to his city. Only to find his world required a different kind of currency, the kind I'd never possessed. Still clinging to that excuse? His grip tightened. I've crossed every goddamn mile between us these past 7 years. Fought every board member. Ignored every suitable match my parents proposed. How many steps do I need to take before you stop running? The corn leaves rustled around us like whispered secrets. His forehead pressed against mine. Our shared breath mingling with the scent of sun-warmed earth. You think I care about matching Prada handbags or pedigree? I've loved you since you showed up to that interview wearing knockoff Chanel with more fire in your eyes than any Ivy League brat. Summer heat shimmered between us as his lips hovered centimeters from mine. Somewhere in the distance, a tractor engine coughed to life. My fingers curled into his sweat-dampened collar as the world narrowed to the desperate hope in his storm-clad eyes and the terrifying realization that this time, neither of us planned to pull away. And what about you? My voice trembled. Could you take one step toward me? Even a tiny one? Grace. You're not a coward. Why be so stingy with me? The wind swept across the wilderness, swallowing our words. For that suspended moment, my mind went blank. Screw caution. My infallible Ethan, he was crying. Two shadows merged as I threw myself into his arms. Ethan insisted on proving we're equals by helping harvest corn, then promptly cut his finger. I snorted. So the golden boy wasn't perfect after all. Laughing. Huh? Keep laughing. He shoved his hand under my nose like presenting evidence. The scratch would have healed before reaching urgent care. Needed kisses. Needed pampering. Didn't know you were such a baby. My grin widened. Those stormy eyes narrowed with something dangerously close to a pout before he nuzzled my neck. The midday sun baked our tangled sweat. Yet he clung closer. Suddenly, all those carefully measured distances between us turned to ash. How'd you find me? I asked later. Fingers interlaced with his along my childhood dirt road. You vanished from work. Ignored Slack. Thought you rage quit. His brow furrowed. Said I play carefree but guard my pride fiercely, why else keep him at arm's length for years? When Lily tried to ruin my reputation, he panicked I'd disappear for good. Not that dramatic. True. I needed space. But abandoning everything? Impossible. Not with him waiting. 14-hour train ride for quite the revelation. His razor-sharp gaze sliced through me. Come on. Everyone fakes through blind dates nowadays. Mom tricked me, guy wasn't even interested. And you? Ethan's grip turned vice-like. Never. Our palms sealed tighter. Seeing you here, there is no one else. I'll admit it, I'm gutless. Without his stubborn pursuit. This longing might have fossilized in my ribs. Years dilute memories until you can't tell daydreams from reality. Just wanted to linger in this hazy fantasy where he's reachable. Only someone like radiant Ethan would rip open the truth. Don't act innocent. What nonsense did you feed my mother? She's traumatized. Nothing. His jaw set obstinately. Just called her mom as soon as I walked in. We left that night. Mom preferred that Bennett family kid, said Ethan had attitude problems. When I mentioned he's my boss, instant approval. Demanded he buy my brother a downtown apartment before wedding plans. Classic. I was trembling with rage when Ethan gripped my arm to steady me. Mom, this isn't my decision to make, he declared, sitting on our worn-out sofa with the commanding presence he used during business negotiations. His long fingers tapped the coffee table. Grace handles all our finances. You'll need to discuss this with her. My mother eyed me with newfound wariness mixed with reluctant respect. As we left, I exhaled deeply. I loved my hometown, but homecoming always felt like walking through a minefield. Most families had relatives without real affection, mine didn't practice overt favoritism. But I'd always known their love came with asterisks. I'd sprouted like weeds through concrete, unplanned, untended, surviving harsh winds through sheer stubbornness. No one had ever shielded me from life's storms. Until my gaze dropped to our intertwined hands. His fingers strong and warm against mine. It's okay, Ethan murmured, our matching diamond bands glinting as he squeezed my hand. I'm your family now. Confident. Aren't we? 7 years. Grace. Time to stop running. He slapped the Porsche steering wheel. Drove the Panamera Special for this. Impressive enough to shut them up? I showed him my phone. Mom's texting, they don't recognize Porsche. Think you're some scammer driving a knockoff. After taking a week's vacation, I returned to find the office in chaos. Colleagues bombarded Slack begging me back, proof I'd earned my promotion through grit. Not gossip. People sneered about secretaries being glorified arm candy. But half our corporate decisions flowed through my desk. Same with other female executives' assistants. When overworked executives tapped out, we became the shadow cabinet running this empire. 7 years navigating these waters? Even a barnacle would have grown teeth. Ethan had his generational wealth advantage. But I'd clawed my way up. Now back in the war room, we tackled the cash flow crisis. His new luxury snack line was bleeding money, ironic for a value for money empire dominating every corner store. Knockoffs swarmed like locusts. Yet our chips still flew off shelves. The real trouble started when Lily's romantic drama spooked investors. Ethan needed to buy out jittery shareholders. But capital reserves were thinning. Let's weaponize this, I proposed during the emergency meeting. Sell me to Lily? Ethan's muscles tensed like a cornered panther. God, no. But if we motivate her? That night, I posted our clasped hands with engagement rings on Instagram. By dawn, #GoldDiggerCEO trended on Twitter. Genius! Marcus high-fived me while coordinating with Troll Farms. Controversy fueled our PR blitz. We flooded influencers with sample boxes of Ethan's artisanal truffle popcorn. The internet promptly forgot the scandal, too busy debating whether $15 popcorn justified gold flake packaging. Sales charts lit up crimson. Ethan watched real-time data with a predator's grin. Remind me to give you a raise. Already drafting the memo, I said, fingers flying across my keyboard. The board would approve my stock options by lunch. This ship sailed on my tide now. The online buzz shifted from Ethan, that total scumbag, to the new Sullivan family beverage tastes so freaking weird it's like glimpsing the underworld. With this level of viral traction, Lily and I didn't need to network. Investors were literally crawling to our doorstep with checkbooks. Case closed. You're getting promoted, Ethan reminded Marcus pointedly. Provided you handle the most critical loose end. Marcus blinked. Wait, Ethan? What haven't I handled? Ethan's gaze slid to me. Amused. Delete all the dirt on Grace. Though the scandal blew over, Lily still dragged me through the social media mud. Every time she at me, Ethan would throw money at crisis PR. Every single time. His stance was unshakable. Roast me all you want. But my wife's off limits. He never took me to meet his parents either. Why bother? They didn't raise you. No filial obligations, just show up at their funerals eventually. No need to endure their disapproval. The Sullivan elders stayed conspicuously silent throughout the drama. Whenever Ethan visited them, he'd storm out furious. Their acceptance wasn't happening anytime soon. Assuming I'll marry you? We haven't even dated. I teased. No time. 7 years. Grace. I'm pushing 30, can't wait around. He nuzzled my palm against his cheek. That tender gesture resurrecting the boy I'd secretly loved since our college days. How's wedding planning progressing? Finished the design bids. Let me see. Here's the file. Grace. You're off this project. Our wedding budget's $3 million. Not a penny less, you'd probably slash it to $2 mil otherwise. That's how you see me. Besides, since when does the bride plan everything? His lips brushed mine. Let me handle this. I'm all yours. Ethan's POV college years. Ethan met Grace junior year when his roommate shoved her into his research project. He'd known countless beauties, her arrival made him scowl. Another pretty climber using men as stepping stones. I don't carry dead weight. Senior. I'll do anything. Her interruption deepened his frown. Yet her gaze burned equal parts bold and anxious. Was this flirtation or desperation? Before he could decide, she'd carved her space in his world. Soon he learned appearances deceive. Gorgeous yet gritty. Grace manned survey stations under blistering suns, crunching SPSS data till dawn. Meeting minutes materialized before coffee cooled. Once, he'd left her compiling English research in the library. Returning next morning, he found her slumped over laptops, wearing yesterday's clothes. She barely passed CT6. His roommate hissed. Why drown her in academic journals? Ethan approached the snoozing figure, her notes sprawling across reams of highlighted printouts. The input was all new vocabulary I had to look up. But I managed to finish. Later, professors kept trying to push people into Ethan's research group. That Grace in your group isn't top of the class or anyone close to you. Just replace her, they said. Ethan didn't even bother looking up from his papers. She's my team member. The department building was donated by his family. When he spoke, no one dared touch anyone under his protection. On the day the project won the award, Grace came looking for him on her bicycle. He found himself cornered at the cafeteria entrance by Lily professing her love. Normally decisive, Ethan strangely endured listening to her lengthy romantic declarations that day because Grace had promised to treat him to dinner here. He felt ridiculous. He just wanted to see how she'd react when she witnessed the scene. She arrived punctually as always, breaking with her feet as she pedaled closer, blinking those big innocent eyes at the spectacle. Then, she joined the crowd, enthusiastically watching the drama unfold. She even started cheering along with the spectators. Irritation flared in Ethan's chest as he abandoned the confessing beauty to approach the grinning troublemaker. You're treating me to dinner? Yep. Right here? Grace grew wary. Where else? I'll pick the place. He was Ethan Sullivan. No one dared take him to the campus cafeteria. Her shoulders slumped. Okay. She mumbled. Then naturally added. Hop on then. Ethan? That afternoon, Ethan found himself holding Grace's waist while perched on the back of her vintage bicycle, riding past gawking students across the entire campus. He took her to his regular hot pot spot. Grace fidgeted nervously in her seat throughout their first solo meal together. She ate cautiously at first, then devoured portions with growing appetite. Why treat me? He casually asked between bites. Oh, to thank you, she answered sincerely, swallowing a mushroom. Her pale lips had turned cherry red from the spicy broth, looking dangerously biteable. I won the national scholarship. She smiled through the steam, eyes crinkling. My treat. Her bravado evaporated when the bill arrived. Face whitening, hands trembling, she reluctantly accepted the financial reality. Ethan pulled out his black card. His usual expenses far exceeded student budgets. I said it's my treat, Grace insisted stubbornly, wrestling him with her pink denim wallet embroidered with cartoon sheep as they fought to pay. The novelty of someone actually competing to foot his bill left him oddly charmed. Women around Ethan usually carried Louis Vuitton or Chanel. Not Grace, petite and adorable. Walking back, she pushed her clunky vintage bicycle alongside him. You treated me to dinner. Don't you have anything else to say? He blurted out impulsively. She froze momentarily before lowering her eyes in the swirling riverside breeze, cheeks flushing. I do. His heartbeat stuttered, breath catching. Ethan, could you take me on more projects like this later? She asked with bashful hesitation. Fingers twisting, Ethan pressed his lips into a tight line, suddenly realizing she'd never worn makeup during their meetings. That night found him at the racetrack for the first time in years. Later, he'd trace his growing irritability back to this exact moment, a far cry from his original temperament. After the project ended, their paths diverged. Yet Ethan began haunting the campus cafeteria he'd previously dismissed as that shitty food court. Well, hey there, Ethan, the anticipated voice chirped as he balanced his tray. Grace defied logic. When apart, he'd wonder about her whereabouts. When together, he'd regret it immediately. What proper girl greeted guys with streetwise "Hey Ethan" anyway? He folded his long legs into the seat across from her, freezing mid-sit. What are you eating? Lunch, Grace answered blankly. That's not lunch. He stared at her bowl of plain rice, jar of chili flakes, and broth with 3 floating cabbage strands. Are you destitute? Yep. She shrugged without shame. Ethan discovered true poverty that day. Though Grace's thrift store outfit stayed crisp, he'd assumed she was merely frugal. My dinners are better, she reassured. We eat well in the kitchen. Kitchen? That evening, Ethan found himself at the greasy spoon diner he'd normally cross streets to avoid, watching Grace bustle between tables wearing a food-stained apron. Our tomato egg drop beef rice is amazing. She slid him an extra portion. Leaning close during shift change, she whispered conspiratorially, I gave you an extra egg. Ethan developed a sudden obsession with tomato egg drop beef rice. Daily visits earned him Grace's sneaky ingredient boosts, which he repaid with spontaneous snacks, no charity. Just mutual favors. Graduations approaching. Which family's daughter caught your eye? His father inquired during their weekly call. No. What kind do you like? Ethan gazed out the window, imagining his future wife would make him tomato scrambled egg with fatty beef rice loaded with ingredients. On Valentine's Day, Ethan passed by the women's dorm. He caught Marcus giving Grace roses. His breath hitched. It never occurred to him others might like her. She never wore makeup, dressed like one of the guys. But damn, she was beautiful. He watched them talk in the snow, Grace's lips moving earnestly throughout the serious conversation. Then she accepted the bouquet. The roommate left. She went upstairs. Ethan didn't hear a single word in class that afternoon. Marcus gave you flowers? He casually asked during lunch. Yeah. And? His pulse raced. They're nice. Yes or no? What did nice mean? When his intense gaze pressed her, she quickly explained, I'm preserving them with sugar water. Roses are expensive this season, thought I could resell them. Know anyone interested? Ethan stared. Ethan? You want them? Grace looked at him seriously. If I say yes. His Adam's apple bobbed, dark eyes locking onto hers. You'd sell them to me? She hesitated. For you? No charge. He took the flowers. Don't bring them to the dorm, she warned. I asked Marcus if I could do whatever with them, but reselling feels awkward. Ethan agreed, then immediately displayed the roses in their room. Those look familiar. Marcus frowned. From my girlfriend. Ethan gave him a lazy smirk. He knew it was shitty, but Marcus never hit on Grace again. Worth it. College years flew by. She was always working, studying, saving. He watched. Time evaporated. One spring day he found her sobbing on the dorm lawn. Her scholarship got revoked. Ethan visited the administration office. By evening she bounced back, grinning wildly, I'm rich. 5 grand. I'm loaded. Ethan's chest tightened. She shouldn't be let loose in the world. They'd eat her alive. But graduation loomed. Besides money? He asked, the beast in him straining against its chains. Anything else you want? Of course. She looked puzzled. Ever thought about? His gaze dropped to her lips. Grace stopped her antics. She chuckled softly, Ethan. When people like us want something, we learn not to want it. Ethan's inner beast froze in its tracks. In that moment he understood his girl wasn't heartless. Just too financially drained to spare love for him. He'd considered walking away, but couldn't fathom decades stretching ahead without her presence. He stopped fighting his family, graduated and took over the conglomerate. That first year, he personally oversaw campus recruitment at their alma mater. Sullivan Group offered the highest salary packages in the job fair. Hundreds applied. Written exams, panel interviews, psychological evaluations. The filtration process left only one candidate standing. When she first entered the executive office wearing corporate attire with her employee badge, her surprised laugh echoed, It's you. Ethan. Me. Always me. Ethan surrendered to fate. He could wait. Wait for her to evolve from survival mode to thriving. Let's grab lunch. What are you craving?